When you hear the word sacrifice, the first thing that comes to your mind is probably some brilliant queen sacrifice made by Tal. But sadly, most of the sacrifices aren't like this. So today we're gonna take a look at the positional type of sacrifices. Here, Black wants to play d6 and develop his bishop. That's why we play d6, preventing him from doing that and making his bishop really a passive piece. The second reason to make a positional sacrifice is to create weaknesses. You can see that these two pawns are isolated and doubled and are going to be easily attacked by our pieces. And the third reason to make a positional sacrifice is to create great spaces for our pieces. Now, this square on d5 is going to be a really important square, and I will show you why in just a second. So let's jump into today's game. The opening is the Spanish opening, and White decided to take the pawn on e5. Now the thing, of course, is that if Black takes the knight back, we can play d4, hitting both the bishop and the knight. But Black decided to castle, and after knight f3, Black took the pawn. Now after d4, striking in the center with a tempo, Black moved back, and after d5, again a tempo and getting even more space in the center, Black had to move. Now here, after bishop to d3 and knight f6, we can see that our pawn here is really weak. We have to play a move such as c4, protect it, and play this kind of a position. Well, no. What if you play d6? It's not an attacking type of sacrifice that we've seen in my previous video, but it's a positional sacrifice, because if Black takes the pawn, he's gonna have doubled isolated pawns which are going to be weak, and even more importantly, his bishop is going to be a bad piece here, undeveloped, and this also means that his rook here is going to be undeveloped. And we shouldn't forget the most important part of positional sacrifices, which is we get control over really great squares. In this case, this will be the d5 square, as you will see in a couple of moves. So here we played bishop to g5. Now if Black allows us to take this knight on f6, for example with h6, this is going to be terrible for Black. We can see that now he has triple isolated pawns, and also two of them are doubled, and his king is also really opened, and we will be able to just attack him quickly here. So this is terrible, and he has to do something else, and he played knight to g6. Now after knight to c3, we can finally see why this d6 move was a really nice positional sacrifice, because it allows us to put our knight on this nice d5 square. Now after h6, we take the knight, of course, which allows us to play knight to d5. Again, stopping the pawns, keeping the bishop really bad here, and having a really powerful knight in this position. So he has to move the queen now, and we of course take the knight on g6. Now usually you don't want to have two knights against two bishops, because a bishop pair is typically better than two knights, but in this position, as we said, he has passive bishops, they're doing nothing, and our knights are going to be really active. So this is an exception, and also why we could afford to lose a pawn, you know, to sacrifice our pawn for this positional type of advantage. So here we played queen to d3, attacking the pawn here on g6, so he has to defend it, and now rook to e1, of course, attacking the queen, and now knight e7 check. Because his pieces are so passive here, he doesn't have a lot of pieces to defend his king, and that's why our advantage is going to be converted into an attacking advantage, as you will see. Here, Black moved to h7, and now knight to g5 check. Such a beautiful move, because we have a lot of pieces here in the attack, he doesn't have as many in the defense. That's why we can afford to play such a move. If he takes the knight, queen to h3, it's a beautiful checkmate, because the king can't go back because of this knight here. Now, of course, he can't take the knight because of that reason, and when he moves back, we just take the queen with a check, and it's a completely winning position. Now, if you like this video, I'm sure you will love this video, on attacking sacrifices. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.